All right, Peanut, let's get some work done, baby. Let's get some work done. Today, we're gonna be working on my 91 Honda Beat. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the roof replacement. As you can see, I mean, beat tops are normally pretty beat, no pun intended. Like this one's coming apart. It's missing a little knob guy there. This is my main issue though, is right there. So the zipper part that's like supposed to be on the, like right here, it's stitched in, isn't stitched in anymore. So we're gonna have to go ahead and replace it. Luckily, a friend of mine had a he had a OEM hardtop, and he went to a Robbins top. So he gave me his old top, or I bought his old top off of him. So gonna be putting another OEM top back on. It should be about the same process for Robbins top, so let's get to it. All right, the first thing I'm gonna start off by doing is taking the top, because it is cold, and throwing it outside in the sun. It's supposed to get to like 80 degrees today, so hopefully this will stretch out a little bit. All right, so this top is also peeling right here, it looks like, so that's unfortunate. I didn't even look at it when I got it, but I could probably get that re-stitched up at a later date. At least it doesn't have any rips here, so that's the important part. But we're gonna let this warm up maybe. If not, I'll use a space heater to warm it up. But for now, let's start taking this one off. I watched a very brief video on the Beat Owners US group, or not video, write-up of how to do this. So I'm kind of just winging it, if I'm being honest with you. But I know all of these are gonna have to come off. This is how the top comes up, and there's some down here, and there's these. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of those real quick. If you're watching this and you don't own a Beat, that's basically the process that you're gonna do anytime you wanna work on your car. Because now you can flip all this stuff up like this, and then this tray right here, or this piece comes up, and then your access panel for your motor's right there. So it's super easy. I mean, it took 3 minutes, if that, and now you can actually get to everything. So you can get this whole piece comes out. There's an access panel, but the whole thing comes out. And then also you have an access panel right here behind this guy to get to like in there for the air filter and stuff like that. So everybody thinks these are super hard to work on, but after 3 minutes worth of work, it's honestly probably one of the easiest cars to work on. All right, so now that we got the back undone, I'm sure we have to do the front. So if you have a Beat, you know how to do this. Just go in here, reach the levers up and lock them. So they're locked back. It's kind of like a Miata or an S2000. So it's just push, there's a button here. Push that in, pull it forward, and then push it back. And then the whole top goes up. So now we have to take this panel out here. So all those screws along the top we're gonna go ahead and take out. All right, so now we got the screws out of the front. So as you can see, that's just gonna pull off. It's glued down here, but it should just pull off. The next thing we have to figure out is these trim pieces are gonna have to come out, I'm sure. And if they're like every other car, yeah, they just pull right on out. So that's easy. And then we'll have to take these little caps out. And I'm not super sure how to do it without breaking them, because I always break them. So if I can figure something out, I will inform you. So these ones just look like the normal like push pins for body panels. I don't know if that's gonna focus, but they're like ribbed on the back or whatever. So they do have these. I don't have any small ones. These is like a panel popper. So if you want to be super professional, you get a panel popper that actually fits that. I'm gonna use a screwdriver. So as you can see, like my top was leaking in Japan, and somebody put some like silicone in there. So that made the job a little bit more difficult than what it had to be, but I did get both of the pins out. They're little plastic pins. I got both of those out without breaking anything. So, and what I'm doing is I'm keeping everything like over here. That was for the top. That was the next thing I did. This is gonna be the next thing I did, and stuff like that. Just try to stay a little bit organized. Look, you can see water down in there right there. Yeah, this whole thing's wet right here. So I guess I need new ones of these. Next, we are going to have to get this part is where it's connected. So it's not connected here, clearly, because that's where it folds. It's connected here. So if you, in the install guide on the Beat Owners group, said to take this out. I don't think that's super necessary. Maybe we'll see if it is, but I don't think it's necessary. But it does say to take this guy out right here, which you're going into it from the back way here, to take this little 10 mil out, and it does look like the top is sandwiched in there somehow. So it says to take that part out. So I guess we'll do that now and then see what it looks like. There's not much pressure on this thing, I can tell you that. Either that or mine's loose, one or the other. You just can't really get anything down in there very easy, so you're gonna have to use an open-ended wrench. Now we're gonna go ahead and take this spring off. That's what the instructions said to do. So let's see if I can get in there somehow with one hand. There we go. It screws off. There's actually a lot less tension on there than what there probably should be. But like I said, my top has seen some stuff. It's not a low mile beat at all. So yeah, I can just do that with my hands. That wasn't bad. So now the tension cable's out of the way. Now I can see that has like a little plastic piece. You can see how it's just sitting on there. If this would be a better angle. See, it's just sitting on there. Looks like it should just pull off. I would imagine there has to be something up higher though, so I'm gonna look for that. Found them. There's two more 10 mils. There's one there. You can kind of see that one right there, and there's another one like up here. So just have to feel for them. I just put my hand in that thing. There's one there, and there's one like all the way above where the rod goes, like all the way up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those off now. Okay, so now that you got those 3 bolts out, what you're gonna do is very carefully pull this bracket out. It's just plastic, or some type of plastic or something, so be very careful with it. These things are old, but it comes out like that. It's just on those 3 studs there, and then we have this cable that we're gonna have to undo because it actually goes through the top. It's kind of crazy. So we're gonna have to drill these guys out here. I have to drill those guys out, and then we'll should be able to pull the top up enough to get to the release cable or the tension cable or whatever. So we'll go ahead and drill these guys out. In the write-up, it says use 11/64 drill bit, so that's what we got here. That's that. Then it's actually perfect. And the key with this stuff is to always take your time and like be kind of gentle with it, but also it needs to come off. There it goes. So that whole thing was siliconed in there. I don't know if they're like that factory, but mine's for sure siliconed in. I feel like they probably not like that factory. But we needed to do that so that we could get to this part right here. There we go. That's that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and peel this back. You can see all the factory glue that's in there. Go around on this side. Get all that stuff off there. Yeah, my top is crusty. That's why it's just splitting like that. Ouch. All right, there's that. So now, yep, all right, so now we gotta take these guys off right here. I knew there had to be a way to get to them. Just had to get all that stuff off first. So we gotta take these guys out here. So that's next. I'm gonna use the same size I used before with all my collection pieces on there, I guess. Here we go. We just want it enough to pop that guy out. We don't want to do any damage to this because we have to reuse that. But this, we go ahead and drill out so we can put a new rivet in there. And go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Pull that out of the way. Of course it doesn't want to come off there. There we go. And now, all that we have to do is on the inside of the top, there's Velcro. And then our top should come off. Got one more back here. There it is. Dang, this one's Velcroed crazy. Oh. Alright, we got screws holding it in there. So, let's go ahead and unscrew those. Let's see. Seat's probably going to be in the way because I have the longest Phillips screwdriver known to man. Oh, no, we're good. So, just going to go ahead and undo these guys. Alright, there we have it. We got our screws and our old top should just come out like that. Of course, mine's gonna unscrew itself or unzip itself. We'll go ahead and lay that out of the way because we're gonna have to pull that guy back through it before we install it on the other side. So that's it. It's off. It only took, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, something like that. Wasn't bad. Okay, so the issue I'm gonna have here is I didn't realize this before, but the zippers aren't lined up and it started. This seems to be like a trend with these cars, I feel like. So I gotta figure out how to get that stuff lined back up so I can take this back window out, because that's important. Easy peasy. So got that out. Let's disregard that. So now this will be ready to go on as soon as I get this out of here. So we're gonna leave that in there. I'm gonna take the small end out of here, and then I'll have to fish it through on the other top. All right, so what I just did was, I'm gonna need these, is I took a little piece of filler rod for welding. I'm sure you could use a, like a coat hanger or something like that. Let's see if we can fish it through there easier with this, because with the cable, it's like loose down here, so you're pushing it and it's just kinking. It's not really working. Much easier. Now you just gotta get it out. Right. Wow. Wow. I'll take that. One down, one to go. Alright, so this top is all prepped to go on. So I guess we'll just kind of throw it on, do the Velcro-y bits, and then figure the rest out. So the furthest back one here. This is going to be the one that goes on there. It's going to get lined up to the holes. I guess I need the screws for that, huh? That'd probably be smart. Should probably also grab a smaller screwdriver, if I'm being honest. Okay, so something I just noticed, putting these screws back in here, and like, you have to stretch it clearly because, you know, it's a top, but like, I don't know if you guys can see that, I don't know the angle there, but you can see how far it's like, I don't know, quarter, half an inch off or something like that. So it's gonna have to get stretched. So I think what I'm gonna do is just work one by one and just pull it as I go along. Like this one should be pretty lined up. That's off a bit, but you can probably get it started like that. Yep. Where's this one at? Oh crap. There you go. That one's really close. And it could just be like a manufacturing thing, you know? These are from the 90s at the end of the day. So it could just be back in the day their dies weren't exactly the same or something like that. So yeah, see, I just think that one might not Yeah, there's no way that one's gonna stretch out that far. So what I might do is just drill another hole right there, but we'll save that for last. I can always put that stuff on later, you know? So let's flip these over and get these ones mounted now. Oh, that's that one. So this is going to be this one. It doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, because that folded up, that's why. Okay, that is right. So go ahead, put this guy on. Like I said, we're basically just doing the reverse process here. So I'm just trying to line up the marks. Like you can see where the edge was right here. It's got like it's shinier than dollar. The dollar is going to be the outside and the shiny is going to be the inside where it was living at before. So, oh sheesh, that was scary. So find my marks. It's like right here or something. Because I'm sure the top's gonna have to move around a little bit while we're putting it on. Nothing's ever easy, you know. So I can always tighten these up later if I need to. This is the easy part. All right, so now we're gonna have to flip these corners inside of here, like so. And keep in mind, this is a used top, so it's gonna be probably, I would imagine, it's gonna be a little bit easier than if you're buying a new top, because this one's already, you know, been stretched and stuff. You know, if you're buying a new top, I'm sure it's gonna be a lot more difficult, but you can do it, I have faith. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put that filler piece on in the middle here, just to hold the top like where it should live. Keep in mind when tightening these, you're tightening them into plastic. So you don't have to get super mean with them. I feel like tight is tight, you know? That's good there. Okay, so don't be an idiot like me. I did the rivets first, but I think I'm gonna have to take everything off to do those tension rods first. Right? Yeah. I might be able to squeeze that in there. I might be able to do one right there. Okay, so heads up, if you're watching this, you can do this first. Definitely do the tension rod first though, for sure. If you've made it this far, do the tension rod first and then do these. I just put these on, then you can't get to the tension rod because this is pulled over. So do the tension wire first, and then that, and then this. So I'm gonna go do all that stuff now. Another note, I just went to put this one in, and they're definitely a certain pattern, so they're not like, you can only put them in one way. And if you've never used one of these, they're pretty simple. They have like different sizes that you can use, so get the one that matches up with the piece that goes through. You just load it in there, and then you push it all the way against whatever you're doing, and whenever you pull it, you can see the ball moves up, and all it's doing is just making a bigger area for something to catch on. And then after it gets all the way to the end, it'll go click like that, and then the other piece falls out of it. Sometimes you gotta load another one in, it'll come out, but then there's your rivet. So we're gonna go ahead and rivet these side pieces on now. All right, so these are what I picked up. They are 5/32 and they're 1/4 inch grip range, and they might be a little bit too long, but they fit in there perfect. So we will make those work. So, and they're a little bit longer, so they should grip better when after it goes down in there. Okay, so I'm 99% sure this was the upper side, because that side's really dirty. So I probably should have marked which side was up and which side was down. But if you're watching this video, you'll find out, because if I do it wrong, I'm gonna have to redo it. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set the rivets down here. There's only 4 on each. You also want to make sure the head is like big enough to cover the hole that it's going through too, or else you're kind of not doing anything. So got that one started there. Do this, load it in, push down, and start pulling on it. I'm only going to do that one a little bit until I get this next one started, because I don't want it to pull so tight that it I can't do this next one because that one also has to go through the top itself. So see if I can get it to feed down through there. It was close. It's holding us back. All right, this one popped out of its home, so that's not ideal. Let's grab another one. Go ahead. I hope this is a good angle for you guys because I can't see. So, all right, there it goes. It just popped in. So, tighten that one down a little bit. These other ones look like they will line up. I just got to tap it forward a little bit. There we go. Now they all line up. So, just get them all started first, you know, just a little tight on them like that. Just so they're enough to be locked in, but not enough to move around or whatever. And then, oh, that one didn't go all the way. All right, so now they're all in. You can see that piece is getting kind of tight. And go ahead and crank them on down. There you go. Sometimes the sticks get stuck in there. Cool. All those are riveted back in. You can see that piece on there super tight. It's not going anywhere. Just do the same thing the other side. All right, so we got those in. Now, of course I'm missing one of these. It's probably laying in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these plates in here. Like that. Just this has to go in first, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw those guys in now. Hey, there's the other one right there, perfect. So I need 3 for that side, 3 for this side. All right, throw those in, and then we just gotta hook our spring up, and then tighten everything down, then it's basically done after that. I mean, put the trim back on and stuff like that, but that's all easy stuff. I'm gonna save you guys from having a little mini panic attack like I just did. I thought I lost this spring, which is the tensioner spring for this side, because the cable didn't have it on it. When I took the top off, I guess it fell in the driver's seat. So, don't know how it came out of there, but it did. So now I gotta try to fight it back in there. But keep an eye on those if you do this, for sure. Definitely don't want to lose this. There we go. Oh, nope, didn't pop it in. Yeah, I don't know how it came out. I can't get it to pop back in, so I'm gonna have to like bend the spring to get it to go back in and bend it back out. But keep an eye on these springs for sure. And keep in mind when you're tightening these down, I know I said it when I was messing with them before, but they are plastic. So these little brackets that go in here and hold everything down, they're definitely plastic. So just, you know, be considerate when tightening them down, because they are very brittle, I'm sure. Alright, so we got our tension spring in and all of our nuts tightened up there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold the top back and mount this stuff first, and then that stuff. I'm gonna leave the back window out of it and then see if it'll stretch forward enough to tighten up there. So before I did this, tighten that stuff down, I wanted to put these on, and I think putting these trim pieces on is like the hardest part of this whole thing. There's like not really a good way to do it. I'm kind of just like folding it and like working it up like that, and then kind of just like massaging it and hoping it goes in. Like you can hear it pop sometimes. Give it like a little pull. Feels like it's in there. Good enough. All right, I'll do the screws now. I've never done a convertible top before, but I know that this is the hard part. So it's not going to be stretched out enough, especially if you have a new one. It's probably not going to be stretched out enough to be able to like close. Ooh, this one actually is going to work, I think. Dang. But what I was going to say is if it doesn't, then yeah, I was gonna say, if it doesn't want to stretch closed, you can always like heat it up with like a space heater or something like that. It just needs to get warmer. Let it sit out in the sun if it's a hot day. Something matter if the sun's out. Just let it sit out in the sun and it'll help. Look at that. Fresh new top on. I mean, this one's much more forgiving than my last one, I can tell you that. My last one was like a lot more brittle feeling. So, I wonder if I can actually reach that in there now. So now I just gotta put the back window in and I guess we're done. I gotta look at that one screw that's up on here and then we're done. All in all, I mean, I think it wasn't that bad. I was expecting it to be a lot worse than that without having to do the rivets and stuff, but it wasn't bad at all. Would recommend doing it yourself. It's not very hard if you have like any amount of like mechanical knowledge. It's not difficult. So, yep, that's that. So, appreciate y'all for watching. Thanks. See you at the next one.